A lot. Just that one. See. Seattle. Now they got a hockey team, yeah. And we all know they'll win the cup before the Leafs do, yeah. On Riding the Pine. With Punchy Langer, it's summertime. I really wanted to sing that song.
It was a beauty choice, man. Welcome. Episode 21. Happy birthday, boys. We got 32 teams in the league now. The league has expanded. How you boys doing tonight? Nice Seattle tune to kick it off there, too, Langer. Good
Yep.
on you.
So how's this gonna work here? Like Seattle's in the West Coast, right? And they also got Vegas was the new team over there. So what's the deal? Where's the East Coast fucking team? Vegas unbalanced now. We got two extra teams in the West, and
Would
the
Vegas go
East
in
is fucking
Central?
same.
Because they'll be the Seattle will be in the Pacific.
Yeah.
Yeah, Seattle will be in there with Edmonton and Vancouver and Calgary. Is it going to
Do you
go
think
back to the way it
Vegas goes
was?
Central?
It goes back to the way it was this year? Or what's I
As
don't
far
know.
as I
Who
know.
Well,
knows
I
what's
guess we
going
don't
on?
know. Yeah. I'd
We
assume
don't know. Yeah.
they're gonna
We
start a
don't
new season.
know. Just sing Seattle tunes all
Yeah.
night tonight.
That's it.
I should have uploaded some Seattle tunes for this evening. But hey, happy birthday, boys. We're 21 today.
Cheers. The
All
Bears.
right.
Fucking A, that's why we're doing it on a Friday. Welcome to nobody who's watching us. Um,
Yeah.
uh, we're
Sorry for anyone
live.
who's sitting at home on Friday watching
All right.
this.
Yeah, yeah, who's that guy? At least we have an
Mizzy.
excuse. We had something to do. Yeah, Mizzy's just waking up. He's got his alarm set. So tonight we're gonna hit on we're gonna go after some jokes, some practical jokes that get played on the room, some that have been played on you over the years, some that maybe some of us have played on others over the years, and then we're gonna slide around. Second period, we're gonna chirp a little bit about exactly what Langer's wearing on his head there. We got a new team in the NHL, 32nd team, the Seattle Kraken. So we're going to talk about the new Crackheads that get to play in the Crack House in the second period, and then
And dude, crack horse.
we're going to
The list
flow
goes
on.
on.
We're going to flow on to the third, and we're going to find out what jokes are the best and what jokes are better than the ones that you can tell today, the ones that you can put on today. So without any further ado, after leading us off with some beautiful even flow there, what are you going to flow into for warm ups there, Langer? What do you got?
Yeah, okay. So I was thinking about practical jokes and I was thinking about parents and how parents, you can call it joking, but what they're actually doing is they're lying to children. So I was thinking about, and they laugh about, I know they laugh about it afterwards. So, like, think about the stuff your parents tried to scare you, like they said to scare you with and stuff. Like, like don't play around fridges because you'll lock yourself in a fridge and die.
That's a good one.
Don't
Yeah.
put a plastic
Washing
bag over your
machines.
head because you'll
Yeah.
suffocate. Like, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. My
Like, I
wife
put a
does that.
plastic bag over my head before and I didn't die. Like,
I didn't die either.
I'm not a
Yeah.
dolphin or a sea turtle or something,
That's right.
stupid.
I know,
Get straw up your nose.
dolphin.
Yeah,
Sea
six
turtle.
pack of beer. Or, like, sitting close to the TV. Did you get that one?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
your
Oh,
eyes
yeah.
will
right.
get crossed and
Or
you'll
Cross-eyed.
be
you,
Yeah.
yeah,
cross-eyed.
cross eye. Yeah, your
Yeah.
eyes will stay that way.
I mean, I
Uh,
guess old TVs had, like, nuclear reactors in them and they were,
That's
it was the
right.
equivalent of standing too close to a microwave back
That's
then.
right.
Well, I had
Bzzz.
one this weekend. I took three kids to a hockey camp. I took three kids to a hockey camp at the place we were staying at. Had a hot tub, and I was telling the kids like, I'm an adult. I'm an adult, so if my mouth accidentally goes under the water or the hot water, I'm okay. But if it happens to a kid, it'll burn your insides and kill you.
And you'll die. Yeah.
Hey, they all kept their heads out of the water. But yeah, I was lying to the kids all weekend. I was playing
Don't
jokes
put
on
your
them all
head
weekend. It
under,
was fun.
or
Yeah.
you'll die a horrible death.
And then you need to
There.
follow it up with like buy them a hot chocolate and tell them, do you know that water in that hot chocolate comes from the hot tub?
Yeah,
It's
And
volcanic
you're probably gonna
liquid
die.
magma.
yeah,
And then
that's
you
how
go
it's
and
gonna
die.
happen.
You have to have
But
a
yeah,
follow up.
no, it's fun. Those jokes that you pull on kids, like I do them to my kids all the time. Sometimes I'll do it to my, like I did it to my daughter this weekend, just in the room. So she had taken out her skates, and she's a big thing for her now. She's trying to get dressed on her own. So she's going to get dressed on her own, but I purposely like kept moving her skate around the room. So she behind her back, just having a little fun, just messing with her, and I don't know. It's just one of those things, man. I love playing jokes on the kids.
She's
They're
either
so
gonna
easy
love
to
it
get.
or
That's
she's gonna
it
hate
is.
it and quit
Yeah.
hockey.
Yeah, yeah, one of the two. And then the joke's on you,
Yeah,
Dad.
that's right. I'm going home. Yeah.
I don't know. And then I was thinking, strangers. I don't know if that was a big deal, but I was scared. They said don't
Stranger.
talk to strangers, and there was like,
Stranger.
there's like the community neighborhood watch program, and if you see a sign in a window and you're being chased by a child molester, you can just knock on their door and say, "Hey, I'm getting chased by a child
That's
molester.
right.
Can you let me
That's
in?"
right. There
And
was
then
a special sign that went
yeah,
around.
it's the
That's
neighborhood
right.
watch, and then I start thinking, well, maybe the child molesters put the neighborhood watch sign in the window, like bait,
Yeah,
It's like, hey, get this
maybe
guy's trying to
that's
molest me out here. I need to come inside. I don't know who you are. My parents said don't talk to strangers, but you've got the sign, so
That's right.
so you're
My
cool.
God.
don't rape me if I come into your house, please.
It's like an orgy. They're fucking
Oh
finger
man,
cuffing you.
I,
Jesus
I
Christ.
maybe it was a joke. I don't.
this is definitely our 21st birthday. We've already ticked off rape off the list 6.5
right.
minutes in.
There you go.
Jeez.
So
Finger
yeah, I
cuffs.
don't know. Of course we don't have to talk about Christmas and Easter where we just lie to them, and then
Yeah.
laugh.
Yeah.
Completely
True.
laugh at them.
True. Yeah.
How, lo-
Santa.
Kids are dumb. They believe
how
anything.
long did you go till you figured out that lie?
I was about 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
How'd you figure that one out?
Mom was having some drinks in July with her friend, and they were
Overheard
like, "Oh,
some stuff?
he's not real, eh?" I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
Like I was
Yeah.
expecting like a puberty
In
couple.
July, eh?
Like they sit down with you, and like actually, they have the one chair, and then they have the two chairs facing you,
Yeah, that's right. We need
and
to have a talk.
they need to have a chat. But no, it was just casual. I'm like, I can't believe you just said that and blew
Yeah.
that off so flippantly when it's. I just can't believe that.
I found
Yeah.
Santa. I found Santa's grocery list in the front seat of the car.
Did
Had
ya?
had all the new hockey equipment I got from Santa on the Canadian Tire receipt in the car with my mom's name on the bottom.
Done.
Yeah,
Wow.
she might have been drinking that day too and just left the receipt in the car.
That's it. Yeah, but
Just-
I
just
mean, like,
smashed
what
my
are the
dreams.
chances? What are the chances? It's just a piece of paper, right? Like, sitting there in the dash or the console of her car, right? I mean, of all the things you could have picked up, that was
She
it.
did.
And then
She
you read
probably
it.
didn't even know she was keeping it. She was just
Right.
happy that she was Santa Claus that
Yeah,
day,
that's
and
right.
you're not keeping the receipt.
There's
See
some good
that?
clips on YouTube of people like when the PS5 came out, of like would
Yeah.
get a PS5 box, and just wrap it up, and give it to their kids, and they're running around the living room losing their mind. They open it, and there's nothing in it, and the parents are
It's a
laughing.
couple rocks,
Oh,
right?
man.
Yeah.
It's like a bag of dog food.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Oh,
And then
man.
their face, and it's like they've been stabbed. No! Like utter jubilation to disaster in a split second. Yeah, it is
Man,
pretty funny to watch.
It's
Yeah.
funny, yeah.
along the lines on that. So when I first moved here, y'all know Ty, guy on the couch. Ty, he's not here this week, but
No.
I got to get my own beers this week. But I used to. So when me and my wife first moved here, we got invited to go to his family's house for Christmas. So we went for Christmas, and I forget what I might have got him a shirt or something, a jersey, a Boston jersey or whatever. But I did the classic like big box, little box,
Yeah.
little
That's the
box,
RPC4.
littler box. But then we got down to a ring box. And now Ty's opening up this box. It's like this big. He's gone through 7. He's ready to quit. Right? He's ready to quit. So he gets down to the bottom of the ring box. And then the ring box actually has notes. So I actually went over to his house during the day, over to his parents' house, and planted all these notes and stuff around his parents' house. So I had him going for about an hour and a half to come up with this little jersey. I was putting notes on the back of pictures in the hallway. So it was like, you get a little hint. It's like, go to the picture of you when you were a redneck. And then there's a picture of Ty with like this flowing mullet and like, when he was riding motorcycles, there's a little note. It's like find the thing that brings lots of presents to little kids. So he's like, he doesn't know what he's looking for, but really there's like a transport truck model in the next room, and that's got another note in it. And then it finally went all the way back to the present that was right beside the one that he originally picked up. So he could have just opened that one for the get-go, and he would have found his thing. But yeah, it's a nice
Think
little
about
job.
what Punchy does for people that he's known for a long time.
Oh yeah, yeah. I go hard in the paint when I'm gonna. If I'm gonna pull a joke, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it memorable.
Damn.
Summer's like, why would you even do that?
It sounds like a lot of effort. Yeah, exactly.
It was a lot of effort, but that's the
Yeah.
point, right?
I guess. Yeah. I've never gone through that much effort. But pranks have to be like just quick. Like
And
as a
focused.
teenager, I was a bit of a lighter thief. Did you guys have those?
I was that guy.
You're right. You were a lighter
unintentionally.
thief.
I
Go
still
home
am
and
that
have, like,
guy.
5 in my
Right.
pocket.
I still am that guy from time to time. Not gonna
Well,
lie.
I notoriously had a massive lighter collection and was known as a lighter thief.
If
But
it's
one,
noted.
uh,
It's been
one
noted.
day, my best theft was in my garage. Me and a couple guys, I asked to borrow his light and used it, and just quickly slid it down my sleeve, and he was like, and he like, cause he knew, right? He was holding his hand out, and he was waiting for it to come back, and I just held my hands open. I'm like, oh, sorry, it's gone. And then he started searching me, and I was able to sort of slide it all the way down, and then it slid out of my shirt and then down into like the pocket of the sofa I was sitting in, and yeah, not much of a prank. Well, it was a prank, but it was my best pick. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Summer's got a trap door in his clothes to steal
Yeah.
lighters at
It
parties.
was, that's right.
He just waves his sleeve over top of a table, and they all just disappear in one shot.
He's like Chris Angel.
That's right. They would tell you after that pick, it was like that. I was
Walks
they
in,
wouldn't give me
drops a
their
smoke
lighters
bomb,
anymore.
steals everybody's lighter in the room.
That's right.
makes the whole garage disappear. in
That's
front of everyone.
Can anybody see through this smoke? No. Who's got a lighter? Ah, nobody.
We used to have this guy. It was always when you were drunk and you'd be trying to light a dart, and you would stand just over your shoulder and you try to light it and you'd blow it out.
Oh yeah.
And it'd
yeah.
be 4 or 5 times before you kind of clue in that
Yeah.
he's
Oh,
standing there. He keeps
he's
blowing the
that
lighter
good.
out.
He's that good.
He was,
right.
yeah, he was a ninja.
Right, ninja.
He's the ninja.
And you get frustrated, and you're like, "Can I?" And you borrow another lighter, and you just
Yeah.
stand there.
Uh,
Yeah, what's going on?
Have you guys seen those sweaters that turn you into a ninja?
Yeah.
Into a Muslim?
The ninja. Dude, that's
No,
awesome. I think any
the
shirt
Muslims
can
on the
turn
show
you
now.
into- Yeah.
no,
That's
it's like
right.
it's like a T-shirt, and you just pull it over your head, and it's got the ninja face. It's amazing.
It looks,
dude.
yeah, they're pretty awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty cool
Yeah.
for sure.
I
Speaking
thought
of
about getting one.
speaking of shirts, check out the new merch, man.
Yeah.
Redbubble.com. Look up BHL hockey. Get yourself a Riding Pine merch. We got
PJ.
there's everything there, and there's so the guys at Redbubble, they'll do it up for you, no problem. Same spot got this shirt from, and get a little kickback for the boys in the hockey house.
Thank
And,
you, Redbubble.
Yeah, man, Redbubble, right on, boys. So hey, with that, let's head into the first. What do you think?
Yep.
Rockin'?
Whoop whoop.
Click, click, clickety, click.
Clickety click click.
And let's just go.
And
Wah, wah, wah. Oh, there we go. Oh, it was a bit of a
Just got the
toot.
end.
All right. We get the puck.
First period's underway.
All right. Yeah. So I didn't had a pretty good think about it. I think probably as a kid, there wasn't a lot of pranks that I remember either doing or being a victim of. Maybe once somebody did the tape thing on the skates, but that's so old, Even back then, that was a thing.
It is a classic one.
Yeah, it's a
I
classic.
mean, I
But,
think everyone has to try that one.
I guess as a team, but I think it stopped being a thing because you can get hurt, pull a groin or a hammy, you know what I mean? You go out there
At
like
40.
Bambi.
At 40, you can.
Well, even as a kid, you can, you know what I mean? Like you go out there with rubber on your skates and you go like Bambi on the
Okay,
ice. Like
wait a minute.
there's
You're
no.
looking at this through an adult lens.
Yes, I am.
You
Yeah,
need to
of
put
course.
yourself
Yeah,
into
yeah, I guess.
a pair of 10-year-old glasses right
Put
now.
yourself in
Because it's
the
hilarious.
put yourself in the shoes of a lighter thief
But that's what I guess maybe that's why it
for
doesn't happen
the
anymore.
early 2000s.
Yeah, a lighter thief.
Aaron Copperfield, lighter thieves at parties. But the worst part is you'll ask him, "Do you have a lighter?" He's like, "No,
No, yeah,
No.
that's right.
He's never got one.
no."
No, not at all. Oh wait, maybe.
Except
Oh
for
wait,
my
is yours blue? Yeah,
That's it.
sorry.
Then you
Yeah,
have to
it's-
light it off like a piece of burning wood out of the fire. That's always dangerous. And you got your face right into the burning embers.
That's right.
And you're sitting there watching, and you just hear the, and you know what's going on, but you say nothing.
Yeah.
And
Sounds
then
dirty is lighting the smoke off another smoke. I still think that's one of the dirtiest things.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
when it's your own smoke that you're lighting off. Your own smoke. Because you're chain smoking now.
Sometimes
Yeah,
it
yeah.
requires it, Or you don't have a lighter because somebody stole it.
So there needs to be some constant fire
That's right.
in the
exactly.
circle at all times.
Or
It's like
was it-
caveman rules, right? Because when the fire goes out, we all die.
That's right.
And no one can smoke.
That's right.
keep your head above the water, kids.
And there's no toaster or stove around to light your dart.
Goddamn lighter thieves. Yeah,
Oh my god.
that's where it starts.
Sorry, man. I totally pushed the boat way too far away from it.
Yeah, you're way off the dock.
Sorry, I was at the cottage there for a second. You were talking about putting tape on guys' skates.
I know. Well, it was.
And then we ended up smoking, lighting cigarettes off
That's
the campfire.
That's how this train rolls, right?
It's mainly because he was
Shut
thinking of
up.
thinking like a lighter thief.
Yeah, that's right.
And then when you get busted and you're like, oh wait, is yours green? Yeah, here you
Yeah.
go. And then the
No.
minute
No, it's like, is yours orange? Oh, wait, is it yellow? Is it
And
blue?
the
Is
minute
it
you
yellow?
give it back to him, you're like, I gotta get that back.
That's right. I will get it back. I will get it back. Well, anyways. All right. So going back
Sorry,
to the tracks, chugga chugga chug. We will no. So didn't do much as a kid. But like I said, I probably was. I remember a lot more from my adult hockey life with pranks.
Yeah.
So I'll probably go through top three hockey pranks that I have been either victim to or a part of. So we'll start out at number three. Number three involved a hockey trip to Montreal for probably 90, probably 94, 90, no, maybe 97, 98, something like that. And
Listeners, keep in mind, we are now in Montreal.
yes,
So us sitting here, we have
Montreal.
no idea where this could end up.
Yeah, anybody who's been to Montreal has some
Yeah,
stories
you
from
know.
Montreal.
yeah,
Go left or right or straight up in 2 seconds.
it all goes in Montreal. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it
Yeah,
does.
everything.
So
yeah.
we're coming back from the club, and I didn't remember this until I was talking to my buddy, who comes in at number two. I'll tell you about that one. But number three, we were coming back from the club, and we're going
Thick
into
lip.
our room,
You're going for
and
your rum, yes.
yeah, that's right. And there's this dude sitting with his back against the wall, like legs up, head between his legs, right? And it looks like he's like crying, sobbing, and he's got the fucking like the table bedside table drawer, because there's always a bedside table between the beds, right?
Yeah,
Bedside
yeah.
table
Yeah.
drawer beside him, but on the other side, so it can't really see what's inside. And like we're just sort of looking at each other, and we're like, "You all right there, man? What's up?" And he looks up, and he's really sad, as the best I can describe it. He's like, "My friends locked me out of my room, or out of our room, or whatever." Like, oh, well, that sucks. We're opening the door, and, like starting to head in,
Real
and he's like,
empathetic, eh?
yeah, like, oh, well, that's too bad. Well, he's like, yeah, they thought I took a shit in the drawer. And you're like, what? They thought I took a shit in the drawer. I didn't take a shit in the drawer. And I didn't get it at this point. And then I like put two and two together. There's the drawer right beside him. I like the drawer. I was picturing like something else apart from the bedside table drawer, and so
Like a chest of drawers, with like
I don't know,
four
yeah,
drawers
something
in it.
like that, like.
Just open up
But
the underwear drawer and just
so
drop one
we
in.
just sort of look at each other like,
Sock
what?
drawer.
And we close the door and take a couple steps towards them, like going to look in the drawer, and lo and behold, there in the fucking drawer was a massive fucking coil. And it wasn't like a shit. It was like a fucking coil, man. Like this thing
was
was like a
soft
beautiful
serve.
coil, man. Yes.
It looked like a Wendy's Frosty.
That has been dropped from height.
Yes, that has been released from a considerable height. You got to turn it though. To get the coil, you have to turn it.
Got it.
So I worked at
Oh,
Arby's,
God.
I know.
So that's number 3. Anyways, we quickly be like, "Oh my god!" And we're like, "Okay, go close the room."
So wait, so this sad man, no one knows what it's like to be the sad man in the hallway with his side table drawer with a Mr. Whippy in it.
What he's saying, that, oh my god. So he's being blamed for it?
He's blamed for it. They kicked him out of the room, and they gave him the drawer to sit there with shame.
So hold on, you don't know whoever did it.
And he pleaded that he didn't do it. So he'd been convicted.
Was it his drawer?
That's the assumption.
Or was
I want some
Oh,
follow up
God.
on that.
Man,
Yeah,
If you're
dude.
anyone by chance you're listening and you are that guy, please write in. Because I need to know what happened.
So then we went in the room, like in our room, we're all laughing about it, and then my buddy says to me, he's like, "You know what? Let's go take that fucking drawer and take it up to one of the other guys' room and put it in front of the door, knock on the door, and fucking run away." So we went outside, and we took sad boy's fucking drawer shit, and we took it up like 2 or 3 flights via the stairs and left it in the door.
So not on the elevator, because that would have been hilarious if somebody got on.
Yeah, oh fuck, dude. No, it wasn't worth getting kicked out of the hotel.
Imagine
So-
hearing the elevator music as the door closed. You walk in and Summer and 2 of his buddies with a drawer. And you're like, you go to turn around, the doors are just like, oh my god, what a bad situation you'd be in.
Ting.
So yeah.
So what happened after that?
Well, I was about to knock on
He
the door.
stole a lighter.
Yeah, that's right.
He lit it on fire.
That's right. There's a bag of drawer of shit outside. There's poop in the bag. I wanted to knock on the door. Like this is all in like a split second. I'm like, let's knock on the door. So they find it. He's like, no, don't do that. So it just stays here, and they walk out, and they bump their foot or step in it, and there's like a drawer of shit.
Oh
So I'm
no.
like, yeah, that's awesome. Let's do that. And we fucking ran away. Went to back down the stairs, and then we didn't see him again until the next morning, right when the bus picked us up to fucking go to the game. So we're on the bus, right? Because we all said, "Oh, we'll meet on this bus," to go to the game. And so we're waiting on the bus, and the guys come on, and I'm waiting, and they don't say anything, and you're like, "Fuck, what happened to the shit then?" They didn't. I don't remember them saying anything. Like it was weird. They opened the door, and there was a drawer of shit. But yeah, no mention. I have no idea what happened.
That has to be mentioned.
Yeah, I know.
That's a
It was
giant
so
white shit in the
I
room that you
know.
need to talk about.
Why wasn't it?
very anticlimactic. So,
Oh my
um,
god.
yeah. Anyways, so that was
Okay.
number three. Number three.
Man, number 3. That's a good start, man.
That's awesome.
That's a brilliant
I can
start,
picture
bro.
There's some
That
good
is
times
a
having
brilliant
hotels in
start.
Montreal.
That's a good start. That's a good start. What do you got for number 2?
Right. So, okay. So number 2. Okay. Different trip to Montreal. Right. Same hockey tournament.
La
Different
Belle
Montreal
Province.
trip. Yeah.
So
This
Montreal.
was. Yeah, because Montreal was the place to go. You get the hockey package.
Yeah.
You get to go to the Montreal game versus whoever's in town that weekend.
And you only got to be
it's
18.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
amazing. It's amazing. Hotel, like 4 games plus playoffs. You get a beer after every game. You get to view your game after. It's a total hockey package. Anyways, Canadian Hockey Enterprises, great memories. Team
Yes.
commemorative photo. As the team manager, if you go 5 years in a row, the first 5 years you get like a free spring jacket, and then the next, I think it's 3 years, you then get to go for free.
Oh, nice.
And bring a fan. Anyway, so they got some really good package deals.
I think
but,
I'm pretty sure the head office for that is in Peterborough because a lot of those
yeah, I believe
guys,
so. Yeah.
they used to play on our pickup Thursday morning, get super
Right.
drunk and high at 7 a.m. pickup
That's
hockey
it.
league.
Yeah. Yeah. So back to Montreal we go. This year it was fucked up. So we played a game. We got there. We played a game, right? And it was early in the morning, and then by noon, my buddy who I bunk with, he got like like his knuckle started to swell. His middle knuckle started to swell, and he was starting to like not be able to make a fist or whatever, right? And as the game approaches, the swelling is getting bigger and bigger, and he's like, I don't know if I should play, blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, well that's whatever your call is, And so, anyway, so he played the game, right, and whatever, nothing happened, but the swelling started to get worse, and it started to then like go right to from his knuckle to his wrist, and the boys were drinking, and he's like, I can't get warm. Let's go down to the jacuzzis. Anybody want to come? I'm like, yeah, cool. Let's go to the jacuzzi, have a couple of brewskis, blah, blah, blah. It's outside. It's Quebec. You can smoke in the jacuzzi, right? It's fucking kick ass. That's why Quebec rocks.
Quebec.
Yeah, it's Quebec.
It's like
right?
Europe.
Freedom. That's right. Exactly.
Quebec is Europe in Canada.
That's right. That's
it is.
You can pretty much do anything you want.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. So we're in the jacuzzi, and he's like, "Oh fuck, that's such relief. I couldn't get warm." Like, and then like a couple other guys from the other teams, they came down to start partying in the jacuzzi or whatever, and my buddy showed him his hand, and he's like, "Man, I'm not a doctor, but I'm a first responder, but that is infected, and you need to go get that checked out." And we're like, yeah, whatever. Fuck that. It's Friday night in Montreal. No. and then so he's like, okay, whatever, blah blah blah. We continue partying, and then we end up going back upstairs. We're gonna go party with the boys and go out. And so we're partying in my buddy's room, and he gets to a point where he starts shivering again really bad. He's like, I can't fucking get warm, and he's like, I gotta lie down. I gotta lie down, and he just lies down on his bed, gets under his covers, like, and like wraps himself up like a cocoon. And we're all still partying in the room, and it wasn't like probably like 15 minutes later, I look over and he's like fetal position, like cocooned in the blanket, right? I'm like, okay, guys, let's go over to somebody else's room and let Bri get some sleep here.
So you're just gonna leave this guy?
Well,
He's like a dead trout.
Well, I didn't realize it at that point, right? And so
He's turning gray.
yeah, well, exactly. Yeah,
He's
stupid,
so
bad
sweaty.
friend, right? Yeah, terrible. Yeah,
Well, that's a guy thing.
absolutely.
That's
Just
fine.
let him
We'll just
sleep.
leave
Let him
alone.
sleep. He's he's a hard ass. He's definitely a hard ass. He will never go down. Never. He is an animal, man. If I could say that any one of my good buddies is like a fucking freight train animal, you can't, like, momentum couldn't get you down. Like, it's
Right.
him. And
Wheeler.
yeah.
Yeah,
So when he
yeah,
went
he's that
down, I was
guy.
like, okay, let's let him sleep, right? He needs some fucking sleep. Like, that's what I remember thinking. If Bry's got to go down, let's let him fucking sleep. It didn't. Anyways, so one of the other guys
Didn't
was
occur to you
actually
his life might be
responsible
in the balance.
and said, like, this was a couple hours later. He's like, "Where's Bri?" Went and checked on Bri, and he's still, like, he's shivering and he's got a temperature, and he's like, "Look, I'm gonna take him home, take him to the hospital." So they take him to the hospital, and they're like, "Fucking thank God your friend was smart," and because that like basically could have turned into the flesh-eating disease, and you could have lost your entire fucking arm. That was it. A couple hours later, and your fucking arm would have been gone. That's how fucking close it was. And so they had to cut open. I'm telling all this, the prank's leading up. They cut open his hand, right? They cut open his hand like here, and they open up a flap and they drain the fluid, right? And every morning for a week, he was in the hospital for like 2.5 weeks. Every morning they said they'd open the flap and stick it in an instrument and like scrape the wound and scrape all the pus and all the fucking infection out and clean it daily, right? And so while he's in the hospital, me and the boys go pay him a visit, and so we pick him up in his room, and he's got his IV line attached, and he's in his fucking his hospital skivvies, and they're like, "So there, McCrack, what are we doing?" He's like, well, you guys, did you bring any presents for me or whatever? Like, well, let's go take a walk down in the
It's like he's in
walking area,
rehab.
shall we? Yeah, exactly, exactly.
And you guys are the naughty friends.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Destroy any progress. He's made.
The ones he has circled on the calendar when they come to visit.
So it'd been like probably like a week and a half maybe since he's seen any of his friends, because he was down hard, right? And he said like one night he was he had a bad itch on his nuts, and so he's scratching his nuts, and just as he scratched his nuts, the nurse walked in, and it looked, he's like, it must have looked like I was jerking off or something, because she's like stopped and went, "Oh, sorry," and turned and walked out. He's like, no, it's okay. And he's like, "There's
I was
nothing you can
hoping
do."
it was gonna go to the next level.
No,
Came
afraid
in and
not.
she's like, saxophone,
Right,
start
yeah, that's
playing. I'll
right.
help you with that.
That's right. It's full
I'm a
service right
nurse.
here.
I'll give you mouth to mouth.
So anyways, so we fucking take him. We're like, let's take this fucker downstairs. We're gonna smack him around. So we take him downstairs. He's in a wheelchair, right? So we
Your
fucking
friend.
take him. Yeah. We take him downstairs in
Just
his
smashing
wheelchair.
him into everything. on the
He's
way
holding the
back.
IV, and we're pushing him along in the fucking wheelchair, right? And like, so anyways, we get down to the park, and we have a sesh. We have a good sesh, and he's like, "Okay, let's go. Take me back." And then as we're taking him back, like, we get to the front, and I look at him, and he's like fucking green, man, like green like this.
Too far.
Yeah.
You pushed the boat out too far.
Yeah, and I'm like, we can't. Bri, man, are you Bri? Fucking snap out of me, you little sissy bitch. You know, like yeah, as friends, I was fucking like, what's wrong with you, fucking soft ass bitch, man? And he's like, fuck you, just leave me here, I'll be fine, just leave me here. So we fucking left him there, like
No.
15 feet from the door. You know, like dead on his
My-
feet. You know,
friend.
Well, dead on his feet, dead on his
friend.
wheels.
in his wheelchair.
At least he was, at least he
His
was at
IV line. He's just sort of sitting there, like a nurse would have probably walked over, like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" Fuck. Yeah. So that's
is
number
that
two.
the joke?
That's number two. Yeah, it was a
That was
prank.
the joke.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
you
So was
were
the-
to visit your friend.
Well, that
because
was it. To
you had
visit his
almost
friend.
died.
Yeah, get him off his tree and
And you got
watch
him
him
and then
suffer.
left him.
Yeah, it was good. It was fucking
Car on the
hilarious.
way home.
And then
I'll never
leave.
forget the look on his face. Never, because he knew, looking up at me, what my plan was and how defeated he was. It was like the ultimate satisfaction. Because it was, like I said, if momentum gets him going, he'll never stop. Like if I prank him, then he's got to get even, or he'll never stop. Never.
Yeah,
And so
he'll
it
be
was my one
ruthless about it.
opportunity to get one up on him, and he couldn't do shit. So it was good.
Because he was dying. I love it. That's when you strike.
I think by that time he was better. He felt confident. He took everything we gave him willingly. We didn't force
Yeah.
anything into his IV.
Well, I just imagine someone who's just climbing up the cliffside. They climbed out of the ocean, and they get to the top, and then you just push them straight off.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all right,
Yeah.
but he knew.
For pure
He
entertainment
knew that.
value.
He knew that.
Yes,
He was
that's
fine.
right. Yeah, that's why he climbed up, right? Anyways. So coming in at number one was
Those are two number one stories, by the way.
Yeah,
Right. Okay.
I don't care what number I drafted, because all three of those draft picks are surefire Hall of Famers.
Yeah,
anyway,
they're top notch.
This one, I don't know. I don't know why I rated number one, but definitely well thought out, well executed, and it fucking got me. I was the victim, 100%. So, with a couple buddies, we're on a hockey trip, and so there's a bunch of us, and there's a van with majority of the guys, and then there's like the leadership core group in an SUV driving separately, right? And we kind of get separated a little bit, and so we're just touring by ourselves, making our way to the destination. And it's like I don't know, maybe a 2-hour drive, something like that. And so it's nighttime, we're cruising along, and we're in a rental, and we're smoking a few doobies and playing some tunes, having a good time, having a couple drinks, and it's fucking great road trip time. It's like
Yeah,
it's
time.
it's what it's about,
Road trip.
and anyways, so we're cruising along, and there's an accident up ahead. We see police lights, and we're like, oh, for fuck's sake, open the windows, fucking, there goes the beers. We're like, fuck,
Pull your
what
pants
else?
up.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. What else? Anybody? Anyways, we roll up, and it's an accident, right? It's a pretty big one. And like big enough where I think we get diverted, that's a whole other story. But yeah, so we're cruising along, and my buddy who's driving just was paying attention way too much to his phone. I don't know what the fuck he's doing on his phone, but he's trying to get us to the destination, and he's like pretty much 90% on his phone, 10% looking at the road. So I fucking grab the phone, and I'm like, okay, phone's done, and I throw it to the boys in the back, all right?
like a dad.
Pay attention to the road.
Dad.
Yeah, that's right.
Phone
Well, that's
is
my
dad.
job as shotgun, right? Is to make sure that we get there
Yes.
safe and sound, right?
Yes, you're the bouncer of all the madness and debauchery.
Well, I got to operate the people in the back, communicate to the captain, operate the controls.
Very
Anyway, so
important job.
captain
I totally
was
understand.
distracted, and I corrected. So I throw the phone to the boys in the back, right? And, we're probably about 10 minutes past this accident, and they're like, hey, boys, the police are calling your phone. I'm like, yeah, whatever. No, then they throw it up in the middle between the two fucking front seats over the console, and lo and behold, it says NZ Police.
Oh, this is here. I was
And
back in Montreal, man.
yeah, no.
Oh.
Just for effect, I kept that a little bit secret. Anyways, hence why. So Cam is our driver.
Oh, okay. I see what's happened.
All right.
Yeah, it's happened to me.
Yeah. So Cam is our driver, and this fucking phone now says NZ Police while we're driving. And I'm looking at Cam, and I'm like, "What the fuck is this about?" Like, it literally, we're all like, "Well, we're all." Yeah, like what the fuck is this?
Did you know about
Anyways,
it? You didn't know about
quiet,
it either.
Quiet. Shut up.
Oh
So
my God.
what the fuck is this? And yeah, we're all kind of got that stunned look on our face, like, and Cam's like, just leave, let it go to voicemail, whatever, let it fucking go. And we're like, yeah, okay, whatever. And so we keep driving, and like things get definitely quieter in the car because we're all like in our minds going, "What the fuck is happening here? Why the fucking police calling Cam? Like, did we drop something at the fucking checkpoint, or like, why the fuck are the police calling Cam?" And so, anyways, we're having a bit of a chuckle about it, and like it's a nervous chuckle, like, oh, Cam's a narc, or I can't even remember, right? And then, we're driving along, and the phone rings again, and they're like, guys, the fucking cops are calling again. And they hand the phone up, and I grab the phone. I'm like, okay, fuck it, Cam, I'm answering the phone. You're like, no, don't answer the fucking phone. I'm like, no, like, what the fuck are they gonna do, Mr. Cameron? Yeah, I'm driving. What the fuck do you want here? Anyways, I'm answering the phone. No, well, yeah, boom, and I answer the phone. I'm like, hello. It's the boys in the back have fucking programmed a contact into Cam's phone called NZ Police, and it's fucking Robbie
Bob
Chamberlain calling from the
This is
back.
Bob
fucking
in the
seat.
back.
Robert. Oh,
Yeah.
See, it's funny you told this story because I heard this story, but I can't remember which one of you guys told me the story.
Or it probably would have
So
been
now-
me. It probably
Yeah,
would
so
have
now
been
I've
me
heard the other
because it was.
side of it.
It's number one
my
on my
God.
list of shit that's been done to me too.
That's probably one of the
No,
most
no, no.
devastatingly
No, no,
terrifying,
no.
hilarious stories.
Okay, well,
I've
the
ever heard.
best part.
Okay,
No,
brilliant.
here's a better part though. Here's phase 2 of it. Okay, so 2 days go
No,
by.
save that for your period.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. Let's just
Save it
tack
for
it
your
on.
period. Save it for your period.
Yeah,
Okay.
you have your own period.
Yeah.
All right,
And
so
that is
then-
it.
and
that
then we're
was Aaron's number one. And those are my top three.
Those were
Thank
And
you for
that's gonna
listening.
end the
I
period.
like how 66% of those stories were in Montreal.
That's right.
66.6%.
6.6 repeated. And I actually thought the last, it could have been in Montreal as well, for all I know. That's amazing.
Man, that's why.
There's some crazy.
That's
Montreal
why
I
about
can't wait to go on a trip with you guys.
about three about 3 minutes
half
into that. Well, I don't know. About 3 minutes into that, I realized, oh shit, this is me. That's why I couldn't stop
I
laughing.
saw your face. I'm like, I
Yeah.
think you're involved in this.
Yeah, that's why I just
I
started
can see the
laughing.
beat of
Man,
sweat.
I love
Dude,
you listening though
tears
intently.
right now.
You're like, oh.
no,
And then
I
you
was like,
started to
yeah,
clue
I
in
had-
after like,
no,
Oh.
I knew, but I was like, I knew Langer didn't know, so I was like, I gotta hang on for this.
See, I hear whispers, right?
yeah, that's it.
I hear
Yeah.
whispers.
It was a
And
good
then
one.
when you dump all the puzzle pieces out and you start telling the story, I start putting it together.
That's it. That's it. We'll wait for the
Okay.
follow-up episode in period number 2.
Two.
And number 7. Right.
So in the intermission here, do we even go with the Kraken, or do we just keep flowing with good jokes?
Well,
And-
let's just do the real simple. We'll do the Chinese grilled cheese version of that. If you want to know what that is, you get 2 pieces of bread, you put it in the toaster, you toast it, you throw a cheese slice in. Between the toasted bread, throw it in the microwave 10 seconds, Chinese grilled cheese. So, Seattle has a hockey team.
Seattle has a hockey team.
The roster's garbage, but that's fine because there's going to be a number of trades and roster movements until October.
The
But it's
roster's
cool.
the roster's garbage. Who are 2 players you think? Wow, they didn't take him. 2 players.
I didn't think of anyone like
Max
that.
Max Domi, because I don't know who the fuck that guy is from Columbus.
He's
I have
hurt.
no-
Yeah, I don't know either.
I have
But
no idea.
Domi's hurt and he's a UFA next year, so they didn't want to deal with any of that.
Yeah, I think he's good trade bait at the deadline.
I just wanted him to grab Carey Price just for the drama of it.
Exactly.
That's, you know.
Montreal. Speaking of Montreal, it would have lit on fire if that would have happened.
So anyway, this is what I wanted them to pick. I wanted them to get for first line, Chris Cornell at center, Vetter and Lane Staley on the wing. Right. Second line, we're gonna go with Cobain,
Yeah.
Dave Grohl. We'll just have Nirvana's
That's
on the
right.
second line,
Yeah,
right?
that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
The
Well,
Nirvana line.
I
Come
think
as you are on second.
I think Chris Novoselic. He's more like a second line D man. I think he's a
Yeah.
big boy.
He's pretty
He is
smart
a
though.
big-
Yeah, he could be a
yeah.
D guy. He's like a
The
politician.
Tower Power. Yeah.
He's on
The
yeah,
third line. The third line will just be the single soundtrack. So there's the third line.
Yeah.
And
his pairing would be Jeff Ammett, I think, on the back end.
yeah.
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 And the fourth line will just be like the starting three forwards from the Seattle Supersonics, and that's it. There's your team.
There you go.
Done.
And the goaltender's Courtney Love.
That's right. Yeah. And
No,
Hole.
but she's got a big
Yeah.
She's got there's a couple of holes in that one.
There's
yeah,
a few holes in
big
that one.
hole in the
Yeah.
net.
That's right.
And
All right.
here we go into the second period. So
brilliant. That was brilliant.
so you know what? It's pretty much the same as summer. You know, it's all about the hockey trips with the boys. Now, two of mine are from here. One of mine's from back home. The one I can start with the one from back home first because it's not. It's less of a practical joke and more of a prickish thing that the guy used to do. So we'd play in a tournament, and every game, this one guy on our team, like you know how there's one guy on your team that's like the Brad Marchand, like the guy who gets under the skin of everybody else. So he used to do this to the other team. It used to piss him off and get him in fights and shit in the tournament. By game 3 of the tournament, he's kicked out because he would put 4 or 5 big things of Hubba Bubba in his mouth. On the opening face-off, he'd take his glove off, take the wad of gum out, and rub it into the guy next to him on the face-off, draws laces.
What?
Yes. Put it right in the skate
Sweet and
laces.
sugary though.
Oh, it's disgusting. Yeah, I know, but he used to like spread it right in there on a guy's skates.
Is he trying to summon ants, or what's he trying to do?
I don't know what he would do, but it would get all
kind of
stuck in the
penalty is
guy's
that?
lace. I don't know. Gross misconduct was what he got titled with
Yeah,
in
that
the
would
first.
actually work. Actually, literally.
Yeah, that's what he got titled with in one of the
Gross
tournaments. But then after that, he would just prank everybody the rest of the weekend. So he would show up, he'd play maybe one game, and then he would just be the guy. He would just be the guy that drank beers, and he was like that guy. I don't even want to say his name,
Is
but
that why he did it? So he could just not play hockey?
yeah. He'd just go get kicked out. He'd do it in the regular season. He was the guy that would he would spray paint. He would you know the hot ice, right? Or the what do you call it? You put it on sores. You spray it and it makes everything hot.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Glue?
Yeah, he would spray that inside of guys' cups on our own team. He would like, oh yeah, man. He,
Ben Gay or something.
yes. He would put that
He'd
in the guy.
just smear some
Yeah,
Ben
he'd
Gay
he'd
inside
put
some guy's jock.
bubble gum in. He'd put bubble gum in your laces. He would do
Why
that.
is this guy on
He
your
would
hockey
do-
trip?
no, he was like, okay, so like this is one that where I wasn't an older one. This is one from when I was younger. So I have 3, but most of my good ones are from hockey trips here. Sorry, I kind of got mixed up when I said that. But this was like in my youth. This was the guy on our team. He'd get kicked out of games. He'd play like a couple games in a year. Like you know what I mean?
Because he
But
wanted to
anyway.
smash.
Yeah, because he was that guy.
So hold on. So you could have got another guy on the team that wanted to play, and
That
just brought him.
played.
100%.
And he's like the
100%.
trainer.
100%.
I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll pay.
And he's
Yeah,
like,
you-
"Let's go
Okay, I guess you're gonna
export
pay. I
A's
guess
and-"
you're in. Yeah,
he just-
he's a paying customer.
yeah.
And then what we did to Fusik was pretty good.
Yeah, that was funny. It was an early tech boat trip. I don't know if you were there though.
No, it was the first. It was the first. It was the one.
No, it wasn't. Was it the first? I
I
think it was the
Oh no,
second.
you're right. It was the second, and Fusick got put in our room
Yeah, because we didn't have the clout
because we had three. We had
to
three.
to
Yeah,
mess with dudes.
and it might have been Foos's first one. Might have been Foos's first trip.
Oh, I remember.
Did you?
Okay.
Because
Were you there?
You went
there.
on the. You were there the second time we went around.
Yeah, you were there when we did that to Foos, I think.
Yes.
Was
Yes,
that okay?
I
Was Dags there and he wore
Yes.
the Ginla jersey for like 4
Yes.
days straight and he was
Yeah.
like power smashed the entire time
Yes. Yes.
and scored 500 goals in
Yeah.
like 3
Yeah.
games.
Easily.
And like
Yeah.
falling over the whole time.
And
Yeah.
he was like hiding behind the bar at the airport in Christchurch because he knew no one was going to serve him. So he was like a nose and two eyes behind the bar. Like, can you buy me a beer?
Oh wow. But yeah, so that tournament we took. So Foos was the poor guy that he was rooming with me and Langer, and we had a fan in our room, and
What was
we
his
had
name?
the fan.
Yeah.
Well, but Fusick was still like he was kind of like NHL like '97 guy. Like he went there to play hockey. and,
Yeah,
like,
he
play
went there to
good
try
hockey,
and play,
talk
and yeah,
hockey, and
yeah,
we're like, you're on the wrong trip, bud.
yeah.
That's not what
Well,
happens here.
you
That's
definitely
part of it. It's not all of it.
You definitely got the short end of the
Yeah.
stick when it comes to the room allocation.
He
But
was worried
anyway,
about ice time and like you know,
so
getting enough
anyway,
shifts and stuff.
so we had a nice time coming up in about an hour, and he was probably out doing a pregame jog or something like that. And
Yeah, I think he was doing some calisthenics, like out on the road,
he was out
like
doing
stretching it out.
high knees and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
So-
Deep knee bends.
and I remember specifically running back and forth between his bedroom and the window just to make sure he wasn't coming back. But meanwhile, we were like taping all of his shit to the bed.
Because we gotta
like-
specify that because hockey tape is a premium, so everyone was using like packing tape, right?
Yeah.
Which is pretty hard to untape
Oh yeah.
once you've taped stuff.
Especially when you tape it around two pillows that have all of his shit in the middle of
It was like
and,
a big
like,
package.
What did we put? We put like
It was like a
we,
FedEx package that he had. All
it
the
was
stuff.
solid.
It was bad.
Yeah, yeah. And he come in and we had taken everything out of his suitcase and put it in the middle of the pillow. And
He
then
taped his phone to the wall or something.
yeah, we
Something
put
was-
we taped his phone to the wall. We taped we had like his shoes and shit. Like he had 3 pairs of shoes. We had them taped to one on each blade of the ceiling fan. But yeah, he came back to get ready for his hour of hockey, and none of his shit. Like he opened up his suitcase, and none of the shit was there. And then he had to he was like looking around. He's like, "Where'd all my shit go?" He comes out to us in the living room, and I just looked at him and went, "Look up." He looked up,
Wasn't
and
he
there
kinda
was
pissed, though?
there was all his fucking shoes and shit. And then he's like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me?"
got
And
ornery,
then,
I remember that.
and then all of a sudden,
Yeah,
fucking
little
Langer texts him from the living room, and his phone rings, and it's stuck to the wall.
Yeah, he got ornery. That was funny.
Yeah.
You think that's bad? Yeah.
You think
Where's
that's
your
bad?
phone?
Yeah. That's how I talked to Mohammed wearing a salmon hat. My phone taped to the wall.
Standing right next to the wall. Hello?
Are you trying to?
No, we love Fusick, but he came with a totally different
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
no.
dude.
modus
I
operandi than the
I
rest
love
of us.
Foos. Shout out to Foos.
But he came
But,
down there thinking he was going to get drafted in the 4th round, and it was like, no, man.
Dude, that trip was ridiculous.
I had
That's-
guys show up in the dark and like, are we going to rip this? I'm like, yep. And then we're going to walk to the rink, and we'll see what
Pretty
happens.
good. Yeah.
That trip was ridiculous. Me and you showed up, and he must have been like, "What are you guys doing?" Like me and you showed up. I think between the two of us, we had 20 jerseys around the
It was
room.
a-
It looked
It was
like
a
you.
cultural. It was a
It looked-
cultural experience. For
It
me.
looked like the wall in
good.
behind
Matt
you.
Fusick.
Yeah, old Matty was. Yeah, he was thrown right into the depths of Canada for that
Yeah.
trip, and like it didn't stop there. Like we that was a good trip for tricks. But to top that is part two. To
Sorry, just
top,
before you go on, I just want to say for the viewers out there, the listeners, never ever play asshole with Justin Dag because he's the most militant, aggressive, angry card player I've ever played. He plays
to win.
like yes to
Losing is not an
dominate.
option.
He gets
Right.
angry. He
I'm
gets
gonna. I'm gonna.
angry if you have to get up and get a drink. He gets angry if you don't play your card within 3.7 seconds
Well,
of your
I'm gonna
turn,
come to. I'm gonna come to Dagsy's
and he
defense
gets
here.
super drunk.
I'm gonna come to his defense here a little bit.
Great dude, but
That
I'm
that
just telling
entire
you.
that entire weekend. That entire weekend, he was highly lubricated and purely baptized inside of Tekapo Lake water. So that causes a man to not change his outfit and wear a lumberjack hat for the entire weekend. That's just how it
The
happens.
whole time.
It's where legend is made.
The whole time. And he stepped on the ice and he was Ric Flair and he scored 15 goals in about 20 minutes.
Woo!
Like skating backwards and throwing like
That's
huge
right.
backhand sauce on
That's
bar
right.
down. And I'm like, I have been drinking in this van for 3 hours. You can't even. And he is just pressing triangle and L1 the whole weekend.
That's right.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's right.
And then my final thing on my list was part one, which Somerville already hit you with. And obviously we know now this happened to me. So part two, phase two of this plan. So, I just get over the high of the fact that I've been hit with one of the best pranks ever using my own phone
That was
against me.
amazing.
It was pretty good.
That is amazing.
Here's better. So day 3 of the trip, we're down there. We're playing. We went down there with another team, the Underdogs, which you know well. You played net for them a couple times.
Yep.
So they come down, and it's the night they get there. So needless to say, they come on over.
Yeah, that's
We have a little shaker at the house, and I'm like, I'm spent. It's so early in the morning. Like I gotta go to bed. I need like at least 3-4 hours to get through the next day. I'm like, I gotta go to bed. So I pop my phone on the charger. Away we go. Crash. Go to sleep. Well, I'm like kind of on these trips. I kind of am the director that's like, okay, boys, fuck, we got to go here, we got to go there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're in 3 days deep of this. They know that
You're
I'm
the
gonna
band
go.
manager.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Gotta make sure the band guys
Yeah.
get on the bus.
Yeah,
You're Doc
exactly.
McGee. Yeah, I know.
Exactly. So I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna wake up the boys. I'm gonna wake up the boys. So I hear from the living room, like my alarm. So I
It's the
wake up.
Hockey Night theme song. If you
Absolutely.
don't know what that song was.
So I wake up, go out to the living room, grab my phone, go wake up all the boys, give everybody their morning wake up call. I'm like, okay, good. We're making good time. We got 20 minutes to get onto the bus. We're good to go. 10 minutes goes by. I've now, fired up some stuff for the boys to eat on their way out. A couple English muffins here, English muffin there. We got 10 minutes to go. Slide outside, make sure everything's ready to go. Trailer's hooked up to the van. Way we go. Phone rings. Techpo Holiday Homes. I'm like, oh shit.
Because we were firing a
Don't answer it.
potato
don't answer
gun the night before.
Yeah, we were shooting a potato gun the night bore. And it's like,
Is that a metaphor for something?
It's
no, it's
not a
legit.
small potato gun. It's like
like one potato,
serious.
2 potato, 3 potato, 4?
It's
like
one that,
sweet potato.
Like-
yeah,
like, let's put it this way. It got put into the stick bag and 4 sticks had to be taken out. it's
Oh, really?
it's a real
So
life.
you had to make cuts.
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
So anyway, phone goes off and I'm like, oh well, fuck. We got 10 minutes. We got to leave. Like whatever they got to talk to me about, they can talk to me later. I'm like, I'm not concerned about it. I'm just like, whatever. Throw it back in my phone in my pocket, and I'm like, all right, boys, let's fucking go. Whoa, whoa, whoa. All of a sudden, my phone starts humming. Look up. It's a text message from the same number that just called me, and it says, "Hey, just heard that you guys had a very big party last night. A little bit beyond what we were expecting. It's not in the agreement to have parties in the building or in the accommodation, and we will be headed over for an inspection at 7:30 this morning."
Ooh, that's
And I'm like, "Oh shit!" And I look at my watch, and it's 7:28. And I'm like, oh fuck, because the boys like we're supposed to leave at 7:30. I walk in, it's carnage everywhere in the house. I'm like, oh my fuck, okay boys, fuck, stop whatever the fuck you're doing right now and start to clean, right? Fuck it, we're going to the rink late. I'm like calling the rink and I'm like, listen man, like we're gonna have to move back our ice time like a half
okay.
an
So
hour, like we'll
I
be
gotta
there.
process this. So it's like that. If you've ever seen the movie Rockstar with Johnny Wahlberg, it's the scene where he wakes up and there's just everyone just passed out in the room, and the girl's like peeing standing up in the bathroom, and he's like, "What's going on here?"
No.
Okay,
So
let's do
now
this.
so I go through every room. It's like bam, I kick over Somerville's door. Come on, let's fucking go. I go into the next room. I'm like, let's go. Fuck. I'm going through every room. Everybody's on board. Finally, I get to the last bedroom. I kick open the door, and there's Robbie in fucking tears on the bed,
Bob Chamberlain.
holding up his fucking phone, laughing his ass off. He's got me twice inside of 2 days. So hats off to that motherfucker.
That's why his jersey is retired from Avenue.
That is why his jersey's retired. It was
He's a
unbelievable.
Hall of Famer. That is wicked.
Legend,
Give him the full clap for that one.
yeah. Go, Bob.
Yeah.
Attaboy, Bobby.
Bob. Chamberlain.
That's gonna do it for the second.
All
Started
right,
off
good second,
started
man.
off slow, finished strong.
These are good. No, these are good. I mean, I don't have a lot, so I was kind of thinking about this, and
I'm kind of thinking about the whole bubblegum thing. What a dick, eh? Like I used to think that was funny.
That's logistically a nightmare. Like, think about it. Like, I mean, like for me, I always wore a cage. I didn't to play competitively and ever wore a half visor, so it was not easy to get gum out of your mouth and then to put it on someone's skates.
Some guys.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that's a process. That's a process.
I don't know, guys. Like, see, I was terrified of practical jokes growing up because they're like the hazing thing was the thing, right? And then I had
Those
some
were
other
only
issues.
rumors to me.
See, I think
Yeah,
that-
well, so was I, and but I had other things as well, and I don't want to get dark and heavy, but I always kind of had to make sure, like, what was happening was it a joke, or was it something malicious? Because I was like, I was Eldon Reddick, I was Grant Fuhr, I was Tony McKegney, I was Anson Carter, I was, I was
like Greer.
Mike Greer, I was Wayne Simmons, so it's like, so I just got to be sure, like, you just having a good time. Anyway, so I heard stories of just terrifying things, and I'm like, I don't know if that's a joke.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, see, like
Or is that
you know
terror?
what? I'm not even gonna lie though. I was along the same things because like I had some crazy shit done to me, but they consider that bullying now. It's not really a joke.
Well, it's
Like
considered
I got stuffed inside a
mental
hockey
anguish
bag.
Yes.
I got stuffed inside a hockey bag when I was
No.
younger. I guess it was a hilarious joke for my brother and his buddies. But like, have you ever been Texas shoehorned?
No,
Do you know what a Texas shoehorn is?
I don't know.
Okay, it is fucking rough. Okay, it is rough.
It sounds rough.
Is it like
But-
a gas pedal?
Maybe. Okay, so you know what a wedgie is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know what a wedgie is. Okay, so you pull the wedgie so fucking high that you can pull the guy's foot back and stuff it inside the leg hole,
Right.
right? So you've pulled the wedgie, and now the guy's like, oh, and while he's like up and because like when you get a wedgie, you go right up to your tippy toes to like
Yes,
not
you go
make
up to
it
the
hurt,
tippy toes. You
right?
tip
You
your
get it,
toe.
yeah, you get it up to not make it hurt anymore.
To
Well,
relieve the stress.
once you get up to a tippy toe stance, there's no
Nowhere to
stopping you.
go.
Yeah, and now you're kind of like a fucking marionette. Like people can do whatever the fuck they want to you. So what
So now
happened?
you're a
So
marionette.
my older brother, this is not a practical joke. It's fucking it's scarred me to the point where I'm
It's
talking about it
torture.
now. Okay, yeah, okay. So the wedgie's so fucking high, I'm on my tippy toes. Well, my brother's buddy's holding the underwear, while my brother grabs the front of my ankle and bends my knee and stuffs my foot inside the hole of my underwear
The leg hole. Okay.
on both sides.
Oh no.
Yeah,
It's
and
like
then
a
they,
hog
No.
tie almost.
and then they just
No.
leave you, and then they just leave me on the ground. So anytime I move my foot, I give myself the deeper of the wedgie, right? So now they empty out all of their equipment out of a bag and roll me into the bag. Then they zip up the bag and they leave me that much fucking room to breathe. And then hang me on a hook and leave the room and shut the light off. Until I fucking
It's not very
eventually
fun,
get
man.
found by my dad. No, I know, but it's
So
By
you
your
found like
dad.
well, my dad was the coach.
so were you wriggling around the bag like Jake the Snake?
No, I gave up. I gave up after a while, man.
Like
I was
Damien?
fucking. I was in tears, dude. My ass was bleeding. It was so bad. It was so
Shitty
bad.
bloody ass.
Yeah. Wow, that went dark quick.
I know, and I didn't want to bring it up because I had a fear of
Yeah.
are they pranking me or are they pranking me because they don't want me around?
Well, looking back in
We don't
retrospect,
like your
I wouldn't do
character
it to
act, kid.
somebody else, but I could see how like if I was my brother's friend, that would be fucking hilarious.
That's terror. Anyway, so I'm gonna make it light. So you guys have told some great stories. As you guys know, I'm a very serious person. So jokes and
Yeah,
pranking are just
clearly.
not in my not my demeanor to do
Not
this
in your
sort of stuff.
repertoire.
So I'll tell you a story I tell the kids a lot at school because I want to terrify them so badly they'll never want to go to Canada and experience snow, and I want to make it sound like it's just the Afghanistan of North America. So you're dumb, right? When you're a kid, so you don't. Your parents tell you stuff and you don't know. So what do you do if you don't know something, and you want to know? What do you do?
Steal their lighter.
That's
Pretty
right.
close. So you get someone else to do. As I say, like you get someone else to do it first, and then you take notes and go, okay, so they were right or they were wrong. So I remember when I was in probably grade 4, and they're like, okay, so you don't stick your tongue on the fence because it'll freeze in the winter, right? So you're a kid, you think you're way smarter. Your parents are stupid; they don't know anything. So they've told you that. So what do? You go to school and you tell your friends. Like you share this information with them and go, I've heard this. Let's talk about this. And there's one guy's like, I've heard of it. There's a guy across the playground goes, I've heard that. I've heard about that. I'm like,
That's
okay.
right.
So what do you do? So once again, if you don't know the outcome of something, what do? You get someone else to do it first, so you know. So there was this girl, and her name was, I'll never forget her name. Her name was Angela Earnshaw, and she was the girl that used to eat. Remember those like cheese and cracker things? Had the cheese in the one side and the crackers
Lunchables.
Yeah.
and the red
Lunchables?
stick
Vegetables.
to
Yeah.
smear it
Lunchables?
on. Well, she
Was
would
it-
like fill it with dirt and eat that, right? So she's
Okay.
game for anything, right? So we're standing there. We used to play
Wait,
this
wait. She
game.
would fill the cheese pod with dirt and eat like cheesy dirt,
Yeah,
or just dirt. She would empty
whatever,
the
Like-
man.
cheese
She'd
like-
just find it on the ground, put
Like
some
for
sand in it.
fiber or to make people laugh?
Just
Right.
retarded. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So
Yep.
we used to do this game. So we used to have a hill in our back schoolyard. So kindergarten to grade 3, they had one schoolyard, and then when you went from 4 to 8, you had another schoolyard, and there was a big hill. So it would become a big ice slide in the wintertime. You'd slide down. It was ice slide. It was amazing. So we used to do this thing where there was a pine tree at the top, and a kid would hang on the tree, and then someone would slide down and grab the ankles of the next person. You create this chain down the hill. So this is a game. So the game would end when a grade 8 would come and kick the hands of the kid who was holding the tree. So the chain would break, and you have a big, and then the grade eights would slide down feet first and smash into the pile of children. So the part you wanted to be in the middle of this because you're kind of cushioned and protected. You know, someone always have a broken nose and bloody or whatever, but it's fun. That's what you do because there's no internet and it's fun, right?
That's right.
So we're standing around waiting our turn to do this game, and we're having this conversation. We're like, okay, well, you know, I've heard this. We're 8 or whatever, 10 or whatever. I've heard this, but we need some. So she's over there doing something. We're like, get over here. She's like, what do you want? I'm like, go stick your tongue on that fence. She's like, yeah, whatever. I love being. It's funny because you're a kid. It's very matter of fact. There's no. It's like whatever. You guys are stupid and whatever. So she goes and does it, and she's stuck.
Said.
So we're like, oh my god, it worked. Oh my god, it actually worked.
And now she's stuck.
And she's stuck. Now, as a kid, you kind of lose attention after a few minutes. So you go over and you're talking to the kids and stuff like that. And the bell rings.
She's still stuck.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but no, sorry. Before the bell rings, so like anything, we used to call teachers like in cop sharks, right? If you're hanging around long enough, the teachers will show up because they see there's a commotion happening,
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
So, and then she's like, okay, so I'm going to go get some hot water. So she comes out with, the old non-biodegradable styrofoam cup. And this girl's like, because she's getting, so the bell rings. So we go, and I had this teacher that wanted us to line up. So we're lined up.
I remember lining up, yeah.
And this poor kid is still stuck to the fence. And it starts to snow, and she's like over there, with the snowsuit on, whatever. So we go inside, and I remember you take your boots off. You got boot sock. We've talked about boot sock, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So you're sitting down. You're doing we used to call it USSR, uninterrupted self-sustained reading.
That's right.
Right?
Oh my god!
Yeah, I remember.
You're going Russia on me. But yes, man,
but uninterrupted self-sustained reading. So we're sitting there, and I know this, and I'll tell this. Yeah. I'll tell the kids this. Anytime you see two teachers talking in a doorway, and they're talking, but they're looking at you while they're talking, you know something's happening because they're talking about you.
Yeah.
So we're sitting there, and we kind of forgot, and then like the fireman showed up, and we're excited because he's fireman. Because it's like we love firemen. He's like, fireman's here, yeah, fireman. And they're like, where's Angela? And we're like, oh, we forgot about her. And we looked outside and she wasn't there anymore. We're like, oh no.
Oh yeah.
So we're kind of holding on to this until lunchtime because you go home for lunch, right?
That's right.
People here can't even believe that. So you go home for lunch. So we run over to the fence and we're like, and they're stuck to the fence. There's like a piece of skin with a bit of blood on it. She's obviously given up and like yanked her head off of it. And I don't think that's a joke or a prank or anything. We just didn't know, so we're just like, we'll get her to do it because we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
But it was pretty funny though,
because she eats dirt flavored Lunchables.
Why not?
She'll do it.
Can't taste it anymore.
What was that show? Give it to Billy. He'll eat anything.
That's right.
Mikey likes it.
Mikey likes it.
Yeah.
He likes cereal. Anyway, so I don't know. I never had any practical jokes or anything on.
I remember somebody doing the tongue thing. Yeah, I remember that.
But the thing is, you tell kids, and because in New Zealand, because they don't have access to the cold and snow, I will tell them. If you want to know, it's like going into the freezer and sticking your tongue. So I'm actually telling them exactly
to do it. So you haven't
because
learned
I know
anything.
I know they'll do it.
Because she did.
Anybody lick the freezer door today? Yeah.
Yeah, they go stick their tongue in. Well,
Your homework today, kids.
It's
is to go home and
experiment. Yeah.
Is to go home and stick a fork into the outlet.
There you go. Yeah. Get all the tin foil and put it in the microwave.
Oh, man.
That's all. I got nothing, man. I'm not. Again, I'm too serious. Now, listen.
You're way
just
too
realizing
serious.
I'm leaving myself wide open in front of the net. Someone's gonna get me, and I know this. Gary Goodyear. Don't even think about it. Tell you right now. Don't.
Gooder's on the shelf, but
What?
yeah, he's out
Gary
with a
Goodmeal's not going to be there?
he's out with a lower body injury.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
He's got a lower tongue injury. He's got to come.
Penis
Gotta be there.
Yeah.
I told him he should come and fill up the water. I
That's
told him
good.
he's got to ride some pine. Anyways, that's gonna do it for episode number 21. Unless we got something for OT. We got anything for OT tonight, boys?
Was that the horn for OT or what? I don't.
That's the end of the third. I think we're
We
just
could go through
gonna.
the 20 greatest sports prank of all time if you wanted to. For that desperate.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got something there?
Yeah, some
You're
little
prepared.
extra I didn't get to, but if we
Glad
wanted
someone's
to.
prepared for this.
Yeah.
This, you know. I'm
All
not
right.
prepared.
Let's take a look at the 20 greatest sport pranks. So Sports Illustrated.
Is number one convincing the Toronto Maple Leaf fans they have a hockey team?
Well, it starts at number 20. We'll get there.
Okay. It was number
Uh,
20. Okay.
Well, number 20. Oh, interesting. The Blue Jackets pants prank. This was a hockey one. On a video segment from the TV channel versus Rick Nash of the Columbus Blue Jackets said one of the many pranks played on his team was when one of the guys went around and cut out the pockets on all the team's dress pants, so all their stuff just fell to the ground when they all tried to go out after the game.
Okay, I'm glad you brought this up because this is actually bringing it back. I hope there's one in there about cutting some guy's tie because that's always funny.
Number
trying to
19, John Sim interviewed by fake reporter. This hilarious prank, Luke Robitaille set up teammate John Sim to do a fake interview. The reporter doing the interview shows up late and unprepared, getting John's name and where he's from wrong. His face was priceless. The popcorn prank, number 18. This one's an oldie.
Is this
Paul-
hold on? Is this Jeremy Roenick? Was he involved in this?
There's no mention of Roenick, but it says
No,
it's popular
Roenick
amongst all
was
athletes
amazing.
throughout time.
I read his book and I think he was involved in this. Anyway, tell us.
Is this
sir.
the one about scare tactics?
No.
That I remember reading that, but there was one. But there was one where
No.
Roenick told a
On
story
Tory
about how he
Mitchell.
filled this guy's brand new luxury car full of popcorn.
Yep,
full
that's
through
the prank.
sunroof.
Yep.
And it ruined like the inside and all the interior and everything.
Yep. That's it. That's
Whose
the
car
one.
was it?
It was Jason Thompson of the Nuggets.
Of the Nuggets, the
Wow.
Denver Nuggets.
Yeah,
He
the
must
Nugs-
be really sad because I
Yeah.
don't know who that is.
Yeah, I have no
Yeah,
idea.
no.
Yeah, that's right. Apparently
No, the
Nuggets-
scare
Nuggets are-
tactics one was he did that to Tory Mitchell, I think.
That was really bad. Like he thought he was going to die. They
It's
were like
hilarious.
sacrificing someone.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
made me
that-
watch that show. That
Yeah.
show's funny, man.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So number 19, signing your own helmet. 2005, the Bears. Olin Kreutz asked Kyle Orton, who was the rookie at the time, if he would sign a helmet for his family. Little did poor unsuspecting rookie know that he was actually signing his own helmet, which he would have to wear to practice.
Loser.
That's hilarious too,
That's a
because
good prank.
that's a football one. That's funny.
Yeah.
There's some good ones in football.
Number 16, Pete Carroll's arrest prank. I don't know who Pete Carroll is, but head coach of USC, Pete Carroll, decided
He's
to
the
prank
head coach
his
of the
players.
Seahawks.
Basketball?
man.
All right. He
No,
set up,
Seattle Seahawks.
oh, right. He set it up to look like Everson Griffin was being arrested for what the police who came in to get him called abuse of a freshman. When Carroll played the tape the police had given him as evidence for their arrest, it turned out just to be a hard hit at practice. The entire team laughed when they saw it, and only a prank was. Oh, and the prank was only a prank, and their teammate wasn't really being arrested. Okay, well, it's a bit stupid. All right, sorry, we should have skipped that one. Number 16 was a dive bomb.
That would have been funny though, given the situation, because like a football practice has got 100 and some odd people at it. So like if a cop were to walk in and arrest somebody, it would be a big deal. Anyways,
Yeah. Stupid. All right, that
Let's
was
skip right to number 5.
Give us the
Alright.
top 10, bud.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Man, when we just go top five, because top
Okay.
ten's a little bit. All right, top five. Drop the ball. After winning Florida's first ever NCAA basketball championship title, head coach Billy Donovan pretends to drop the huge crystal trophy. Thankfully, it was a fake one, and the real one was safe and sound.
Oh yeah,
Number
I've seen
4,
that.
we suck. This may be one of the most well-known pranks in sports fan history. During a Yale versus Harvard rivalry game, whatever that is, probably maybe hockey, a couple of Yale students decided to mess with the flip card directions the Harvard fans had received, making the card spell out "We suck" instead of their originally intended message.
Which was what?
Don't know. Well, what else would we spell with "we suck"? We could
We're
say
gay.
we're that's like what would the fans would be like? Go Harvard or go or like how did they get "we suck" out of
I don't
something?
know.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you hold up a card and not read what it says on
I
it?
think there was a third party involved in that one.
Yeah.
It's like this card says I'm awesome, but I'm not gonna look at it to check to make sure.
All right, this
can
one
both
also
were gay.
involves fucking flip cards. So number 3, Caltech Rose Bowl hoax. In this classic prank, number 14 Caltech students wanted to play on the irony of the fact that their school didn't have a football team, but they still hosted the Rose Bowl every year anyways. So they rearranged the directions for the University of Washington fans to create a beaver instead of a husky to spell Huskies backwards, and in the end to spell out Caltech so everyone knew who had done the prank. Did that make any sense?
I couldn't follow that, so I
No.
can't
Yeah, no.
think
They
that's a funny
rearranged
prank.
the directions for the University of Washington
What
fans.
schools were these?
I don't know. You lose me as soon as you say 2 U.S.
I
colleges.
only have a undergrad university degree, so that's obviously like sort of PhD.
and
level
that's
stuff.
gonna end.
Was that number 1?
No, that was
No, that
number
was 3.
All right, number 2. Ken Griffey Jr. gives manager a whole steak dinner. After losing a bet, Ken Griffey Jr. promised to buy his manager a steak dinner. So as a prank, Griffey put a live cow inside the manager's office.
Great.
That's pretty good.
And
You know what's awesome about that? That would have been in Seattle because he was
Nice.
Right. Yeah. there you
right.
go.
He was a Seattle
Yeah.
Mariner.
Yeah. And number 1, greatest sports prank of all time: fake trade to foreign country. Ooh, that's okay. At
that
the
basketball?
number 1 spot on this list as the best sports pranks is the trading of Phillies player Kyle Kendrick to Japan. It seems almost everyone was in on this one, including Brett Myers, the Phillies manager, Charles Manuel, and assistant GM Ruben Amaro. They all got together and created a couple of official-looking documents about this trade before calling Kendrick in to tell him the news. What really made the prank amazing was the fact that onto it, despite how ridiculous it was, his reaction to the trade, and when he found out was all a joke, was priceless.
Could
Please
you
tell me
imagine
he
that?
went to Japan.
That's what I was sort of
Please
hoping.
tell me he got off the
Yeah.
plane at Narita Airport in Tokyo.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
there's more.
Looking for somebody.
And the guy picking him up at the airport just had a sign that said, "Just kidding."
Yeah, in Japanese.
That would be the way to fucking do it.
And he has to talk to some foreigner. Like, what does this say? I'm like, it says you're
It's
retarded,
all in Japanese.
that you're a joke.
Yeah, it actually says "just kidding," but it's just two weird
Yeah.
logos.
Oh, this looks like a nice place we're going to. You're so dumb.
All right.
And that's gonna do it for episode 21. Next week, hey, we'll be coming back with 22. Hey, and the NHL's got 32. Langer, what you gonna do? You gonna play us out of here with a little bit more Seattle, or are we just gonna roll on through old style?
Yeah, nah, yeah. I could play
Throw
a
it-
song. You want to hear?
Maybe
Alright.
tomorrow I wanna settle down.
See,
Alright.
I just don't want to get
Until
sued and
tomorrow,
lose
I-
royalties.
Right?
Maybe
Fair enough.
tomorrow I wanna.
All right. Here we go. Thank you very much for stopping by. This has been Chronicles of the Fourth Line. Riding Pine brought to you by the Hockey House. We'll see you all next week.
Yeah. All right.
Good show. Nice work. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle